Greetings and welcome in. Let me mute that audio real quick. Uh, yeah, so welcome back. Mad Hat, aka your host. It looks like, according to my latest upload, it was almost a year ago. So, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Or tuning in later, depending on where you're at. So, been playing the game on your screen here quite a bit. It's called Stationeers. And, it did a massive update to the terrain. So, um, Stationeers is. I could just read the description here. Puts you in control of the construction and management of a space station to run by yourself or online with your friends. It's got complex atmospheric, electrical, manufacturing, agriculture, and gravitational systems require thought management at all times. So, it is single player, as you can see. It's also online co op. In single player, you can pause the game. In online co op, you cannot. The same with LAN co op. And there's Steam achievements and mods in the workshop for the game. I play completely vanilla, no mods. Um, the game is um, perfectly fine without mods so far. And then here's the updates. A lot of better terrain. They worked pretty hard on the terrain. If you played Stationers before, you know what I'm talking about. You know, but previous for those that have not, previously the terrain was there. It looked a little bit. I don't really want to say blocky, but and not pixelated, but geometric. There we go. You could tell it was geometric shapes, but now it's more realistic, and you'll see when we get in there. Um, After the terrain update, our previous saves were not accessible. There is a workaround, I think, on the Steam discussion forums. Um, if you wanted to get into your old saves, I'm perfectly fine just starting over. I do the same thing with most of the other survival games. I don't mind starting over, starting a new spot, new build. Um, Stationeers is pretty technically involved, as it says in the description here. But I'm digging it, man. So I put a poll out on YouTube. I didn't get no answers about where to start. I've been playing on the moon. I'm kind of gonna show you guys a bit of my moon base, see what we're getting into, and all the cool stuff we're gonna be able to do. I have been itching to go to Mars, so since I didn't get my poll answered, um, I may just do that anyway, man. I want to go to Mars, see the new terrain. Mars is, well, I don't know. I think Moon by far is probably. I've been playing this game a while, so Moon was the easiest prior to the terrain update, but you could almost say that Mars is fairly easy too, right? Because granted, the moon doesn't have any atmosphere, so wind power is not going to work at all. But Mars does. It's got very little atmosphere, but there's just enough atmosphere where you can benefit from wind power, especially when the storms come, right? Um, and we'll get to see that. Um, we'll kind of go over it when we start the Mars playthrough. We'll kind of compare the differences between Moon and Mars. But yeah, Stationeers, man, if you like the technical know-how, the engineering side, troubleshooting, yeah, see that's the old terrain feature there on this picture. It's a lot better now, and that's Europa, the icy planet. Um, but yeah, it's a survival build game still, but It's you've got manufactories, and you have to deal with atmospheric pressures and temperatures and gases and power. Yeah, you'll see, guys, if you hang around, stick it out with me. You'll see what I mean. I dig it. I'm into it. A lot of people um, I know and watch play this, so we're real impressed with the way that RocketWorks has been developing this game thus far, and we look forward to seeing more come out from them. I believe they're working on. Let's actually see if they've got an update. Might be in my library page. Yeah, see, this is. I believe that's the moon. That's what the moon looks like now. And here's Mars. I believe the maps are bigger too, if I remember correctly. And it is moddable completely. Picture of Mars Canyon. Great Mirror Crater on Moon. Saturn's moon of Mimas. See, and here's Europa. I remember how I said there were geometric. You could see the geometric ground shapes in the terrain on that picture we saw on the store page. This is the new Europa. And Venus, and then of course Vulcan. I have not been to these planets. These two planets scare me. Yeah, see, this is the old terrain. In with the new. I'm kind of looking to see. Yeah, and it's completely multiplayer. I played on multiplayer servers, and I play a lot with um, the wife. Yeah, and you can do coding. It's they've got their own programming language, so yeah, they're consistently updating this. I even played on the beta prior to the terrain update because I wanted to see it. So constantly releasing new stuff. I like this compact housing. That's real convenient. Yeah, I'm not seeing, but they're working on it. They'll probably bring some stuff in. So, um, so thanks for popping in. Hope you enjoy the stream. And without further ado, let's get to it. I'm gonna close my thing here. So, when you play Stationeers for the first time, um, actually, yeah. Anyway, for the first time, you'll click on New World, and you'll be able to um, pick the planets you want to go. We'll go over that in a minute. But let me show you kind of just give you a walkthrough of my moon base. I've been playing on this for I don't know a couple days. In-game days. I've been in here almost a year now, so um, just kind of give you a walkthrough of what it's kind of like in here for those that haven't played it yet. Like to get more people interested. It's definitely If you like science and that, definitely the game for you. If you like survival building games, it's pretty good, you know? I love it. So, this is my moon base. This is currently my office. This is where I do all my programming. Tablet dock, there's my coffee cup. Got a laptop right there. Uh, Hold on. I gotta plug my headphones in. He's chirping in my ear. All right, solved that problem. So, like I said, this is my office. Now, what this is a battery display. You can see by the label on the LED, it's showing the current battery percent. And then this is the current charge. So I've got 25.2 megawatts of power currently available. You know, and you could do wiring. That's airlock door I use because you can lock it. Apparently, there's another door you can lock, but I didn't think of it at the time, and I like this one. It's spacey, you know. Yeah. So the moon doesn't get weather, but they do get a solar storm, and that weather station is able to detect it. So when the light goes yellow, this changes. When it goes red, it lets me know that the storm is here. I'm completely closed in, but I imagine if both these doors were closed and a solar storm were to hit, this box, if there was atmosphere in it, would heat up pretty quick. That's my base cooling itself. When we first start out, you know, you do this stuff manually, and as you progress and unlock alloys and that, you're able to automate a lot of things, man. I don't have to touch that climate control at all. I set it for 25 degrees Celsius and it maintains that temperature. This is an oven. You can cook, turn it on, cook potatoes, all kinds of stuff. I currently cook, actually, I think I'm grown out of baked potatoes. I'm using tomato soup now. So go in here and it's got the search filter, so you just type in tome. That's what I'm making right now. I got 10 in there currently. But I like this oven because I can throw my crops, my harvested crops in there, and they will not spoil. Um, there was a fridge here. You can put them in there. It'll extend their life, but they'll still spoil after a time. So I actually just put this in here a day or two ago. This is a powered bench. This bench supplies power to the reagent processor and my canning machine. The reagent processor just takes like soybeans per se and then makes the soy oil. And this is my greenhouse. This is not a sealed door, it's an interior door. And what this is this is just a CO2 display showing how much carbon dioxide is currently in that space. And I'll show you where the sensor is, but I want to get my tablet out. Yeah. Um, so you can see it's 3%, and if we look on the tablet here, 3.16% at 5.79 moles of CO2. And then that's the current internal temperature of the base. And then in here, I keep this dark because I like to control their light. So I have a portable light on me that I can turn on. This makes water, supplies water for my plants. And I've got tomatoes growing in there currently. This is just where I store the seeds. And that tablet I'm able to check on the plants, Gives all kinds of neat information on these guys, man. You know, real handy. And we'll see a lot of this stuff when we start going on Mars. Just a locker full of stuff. Now, your suits. I'm not currently wearing a suit. Oh, I wish I could remember how to zoom out. There we go. I'm not currently wearing a suit, so your little guy's just right there. But if I was to go outside because the moon has no atmosphere, I have to put the suit on. And we will go ahead and do that. I will close. Come on. I will close that. I'll turn. Actually, I need to drag this over here. Turn it off. Then close the window. Get rid of some of these windows. You don't need to see all this stuff. You will later, because I'll keep them open. So we'll go out the airlock and we just hit the button. You drop your helmet with I as an indigo, and then you can also lock it so you don't accidentally hit I by whatever reason, which I've done. I get in the habit of locking my window, my visor. And we're going to actually, you do have a helmet light, but that helmet light, right? This is your suit battery. The helmet light consumes that suit battery. That's why I made the portable light with the rechargeable battery. And I try to use it. Oh, where's my... Oh, that's right. I changed it. Yeah, the lights come on automatically. See? Beautiful automation, man. So that means there's a proximity sensor here somewhere that if it detects my presence, the light comes on. So these are the manufacturers. You start with the auto lathe, and then you later on build the electronics printer and the hydraulic pipe bender. Just some lockers. So this is the very first furnace that you'll get. It's powered by electricity. And I have it automated right now. If I was to turn that on and throw a chunk of ore in, it would automatically turn on and start without me touching it. Then the next furnace is this one. It's just the furnace, and you've got a gauge here that shows you temperature, pressure, capacity, and liquids volume inside the furnace. Inside the pipe, that's a different story, right? I haven't used this in a while. I left that on for a while. I've been using the advanced furnace, which is over here. Got this neat little setup. Shout out to Chewy from Panic and Die Gaming. I kind of copied their setup. Used the hotbox. So because the moon has no atmosphere and it's no temperature. Like with this furnace here, it would eventually just radiate its heat all out and cool down, But if you build a hot box, it'll maintain the temperature in there and it'll equalize. As you can see, the hot box temperature is 710 degrees, and so is the furnace. And I haven't used this thing in a while, so that I like this idea. That's slick. I've never done this until I watched Panic and Die Gaming do it that way. I've always had my advanced furnace outside, like that one there. And then this is all my gas storage. I try to capture and reuse the gases. So every time you smelt something in a furnace, the ore will off gas, right? Depending on what it is. And then instead of expelling it out into space, I'm capturing it and recycling it. The only thing I am getting rid of is pollutant. So it's just going out this vent here. But I'm keeping everything else because you can reuse it. Nitrous oxide for rocket fuel, carbon dioxide for the greenhouse. I had both of those hydroponics trays going, and man, they were eating up the CO2, but they were pumping out the O2. So this is nitrogen for my jetpack, oxygen tank, of course, for breathing, and then this is a mixed fuel tank. That's kept at 14.6 degrees Celsius, but that's because that's what the ice crushers are melting the ice at currently. I could crank it up so they're like 20 degrees Celsius, but I haven't messed with that. And then my volatile tank. And then this one, this fuel tank here is the one that comes with the lantern when you land. I think I've only used it twice, and it was to refill my gas gas welding torch. I've since built an electric one, so that's the shop. This is all my power distribution. Like I said, I just got kind of started. It may say I'm on day 228, but that's a couple of days of real time playing, couple hours a day. So I've just started. I haven't really expanded much. Like I want to make this 2-story and add a place to hang my suit, and be able to recharge its battery and refill the oxygen tank. You know, dump my waste gas, recharge the battery, all kinds of stuff. So I'm still that's water. And then because when you melt water ice that you get on the moon here, it off gases nitrogen. So I'm storing nitrogen there. But this is my power. I'm slowly replacing these batteries with the large ones. So far, these two large ones are going strong. They've been, I haven't run out of power yet. This battery is strictly for surviving, man. It powers my food production, my temperature regulation, and I think that's it. It's the very important stuff, and then this is everything else. With these three batteries power everything else. At least in this specific spot. Now, if I run you over here, yeah, you got a rover, and that came out with the terrain update, I believe. They reintroduced the rover, one of them. I really hope they bring the other one back. Yeah, I'm actually going to. Pardon me a second. What I'm doing is changing the time. Time scale 0.05. I'm changing the time because a typical game day is, I believe it's 20 minutes real time. So it's 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a night. And I kind of want to keep it daylight a little bit, show you guys this stuff real quick. Just real fast, then we'll take off and start a whole new build. On Mars, I think. This is a trader outpost. As you can see, it's kind of laid out funky, but I've got plans for this, right? Because this is the smallest landing pad that you can summon a trader with from space, okay? It can go up to 9x9. Now, where 9x9 is right here. This is the end of the 9x9. So eventually I have the room to expand, and then some of the larger traders require a runway. So As you can see, I was in the process of flattening out the terrain there, and I'll be able to put a runway there. So I'm not by any means done yet, you know. But I figure for first day back streaming in almost a year, why not start a whole new playthrough with you guys? Could turn that off. Um, that's obviously a communications dish to chat with the traders. And then this here, I was gonna kind of build it like like an airport, man. There's like that'd be like a landing pad, then the runway out that way. This was gonna be a tower. I was gonna leave that because I can always put more dishes up. But this was just gonna be like a control tower, ATC, air traffic controller. And then this is where I talk to the traders. You call a trader down as long as you've got your data side of this vending machine hooked up to the trading pad over there. Um, they'll you can get there. You can vend their goods out that you've bought. You know, but the log here shows you who's in range. I believe that's a seed trader for sure. I don't know what they are. They might be, or it's food. But anyway, if any contacts are in range, they'll show up here, and you can rotate the dish, right, or elevation, and try and locate them to make contact and have them land at your station. So, but there's the terrain. Looks really good now. Um, I'm impressed with it thus far. I can't wait to see Mars. Oh yeah, that big contraption there was my solar panel array. Like I said, I'm just kind of haven't really, what do you call it, beautified the base yet. So this is just a tower. Like I can bring a column down. For what I'm doing currently, I believe there's 10. 5 and 5, yeah. There's 10 panels. 10 panels have been seemed to run the base pretty good right now. 10 panels and those batteries. You know? Whoa. There's more, but we'll get into that as we progress in the series. And again, no, there's nothing. It's just open space. That's what I like about Stationeers is it is pretty realistic. So let's go back in. We'll shed our suit. I may actually eat and drink before I log off. Unlock the helmet. Open it up. Hang it up. Get a drinky drink. We'll eat something. I know, canned french fries, right? What can you say? Good eating, though. That's actually better, though. And then there's better than that. Did I make some? Yeah. There's, these are chocolate cereal bars. And then chocolate bars. They don't provide nutrition, but I think that's 100% mood bonus, right? So if you're, especially in the hard suit, you're in that suit for too long, you get sweaty, and just your hygiene goes down. Yes, there's hygiene in here in this game. So, in a pinch, I could get rid of my suit, eat that chocolate bar, and there'll be a red shower symbol up here in the corner. That's your hygiene. Red meaning it's severe or critical. I could eat that chocolate bar, and I haven't done it yet, but I believe it goes away. I've got them there just in case, because I was out there quite a bit building that trader's outpost. So, yep, that's my base. Pretty cool stuff. You know, just the basics. I actually started one, two, three. This 3x3 box was when I first box I built, and then I added on. I think I actually added this on first. I built the floor, the walls, the ceiling, and then I took out the wall that was here. And then I added my office, and then I added the greenhouse. So lots you can do, lots you can do. And you can go multiple stories. They got elevator kits and stairwells, and you'll get to see it. We'll play around with it. My office wouldn't be complete without a coffee cup. All right, let's go to Mars if there's no objections. We'll save the game. We'll leave session. Save and exit. So, like I said, when you're first playing Stationeers, if you've never played this before, you'll load up, start a new world, and this is all new too, right? When I first started playing this, you either had the moon, you didn't have which different regions you could go to, and then you had um, Mars, obviously, Mimas, Europa, Venus, and Vulcan. Um, and it, to me, I think they're actually arranged by difficulty. I believe so. Yep. And Mars actually used to be. Nope, it's still intermediate. Okay. I almost think these two are about the same. The only difference is this has atmosphere. This does not. Um, I played on the moon quite a bit. I believe I'm actually here. Yeah, see, with no atmosphere, the barren and crater scarred surface of the moon provides a stable environment for lunar operations. And I'm here. Crater marked highlands overlooking the Great Mare. I wanted to be up high, kind of like on the rim, you know. And then so now they've got different regions. And then, so with the moon, if you notice, it says beginner. It orbits the Earth. Gravity is 17% of Earth's gravity. You'll experience solar storm events. The sun, Sol, transits the sky every 20 minutes at 88 degrees, which is almost right 12 o'clock. And then it orbits the Sol every 20.3 minutes. It provides 1315 to 1407 watts per meter squared on the panel. Has no atmosphere. But if we go to Mars, it orbits the Sol. Gravity's 38% of Earth's. You'll experience dust storm events. Sol transits the sky every 20 minutes at 78 degrees, so it's not quite straight up. So we'll have a vertical and horizontal vector to worry about. Orbit Sol every 2 to 3 weeks. Sol provides, see how it's less power than Moon, right? So it's going to take a lot more solar panels to catch up with what Moon's sun provides. It's just because we're closer, you know. And then we have atmosphere, right? 2 to 3 kilopascals of atmospheric pressure, and the temperature ranges from minus 52 to 15 degrees Celsius. Then you got Mimas, which is one of um, Saturn's moons, and it's way out there. Look at the power. So that's why it's a little bit higher difficulty, you know. And then Europa. I've actually played on Europa. Europa's pretty fun. Super cold. It's one of Jupiter's moons. They get snowstorms. These two I have not played yet. Venus and Vulcan. They're the hot planets. You don't get ices, the mineable ices on those two planets. Temperature's too hot, it melts them. So you got to figure out how to get your gases a different way. You know, you can import them by trading or capture your off gassing and plant exhalations and all that. So I have not played Mars since the new terrain update, so I don't even know where to look. I like to be up high, so if I could find kind of a canyon overlook, the edge of a high plateau that overlooks. Oh, there we go. Canyon overlook might be good. A low lying plain surrounded by rocky hills. Down at the bottom of a trench. Might go with canyon overlook, huh? We can try it. If we don't like it, we can choose a different spot. Mars, a desolate, dusty red ball. Mars features more buried terrain that can reach into the sky and a chilly atmosphere that's no good for breathing, but maybe it can be used for something else. We'll check it out. Been a while since I've been to Mars. Like I said, well, when they did the terrain update, my old saves disappeared, as you saw when I loaded that game. My moon game, I only had one save on it. So, and the came out what in September, I believe. So, and then yep. So there's different difficulties, right? Creative, you have access to item spawning, no resource usage. You'll survive forever in toxic environments. Respawning is no issue. Easy's more relaxed game with lower oxygen, food, and water usage. And you will survive longer in toxic environments, and respawning is no issue. I have been playing on this mode, and then my that moon playthrough I just showed you has been on normal. So you'll need to work hard to keep yourself alive. Planning into the future is key for survival, as food, water, and oxygen may be in short supply. Respawning will only provide you with limited equipment. Right. So as you can see, eating and drinking through the helmet is disabled, whereas on easy you can do it. Weather damage to the lander is enabled, and I'll show you what that is here in a minute. And then metabolism's enabled. Lung damage is enabled, so like if you breathe in toxic gases or whatever, you'll take damage in your lungs. And then offline metabolism rate is at 10%. And I've never done stationeer. Normal is actually the highest difficulty level I've played so far. So then you choose your difficulty, click next, and then yeah, so you can do like hardcore mode, which is like stationeer, and then brutal difficulty. Or I'm just gonna start with the standard stuff. So the lander will have these crates and tanks on it. We'll get O2, water, fuel. We'll get all kinds of construction supplies, as you can see, electrical supply. Excuse me. Airlock supplies to build an airlock, survival supplies, hydroponic supplies, and then in your lunar lander capsule, you'll have these two items. So let's hope we can survive long enough to get, you know, a base up and At least we start off with a little bit of water. And you actually get a tank of water too. Small storage tank, portable storage tank. So we'll have water for a bit. See if we like where we landed. Hmm. The sun comes up over there at 97 degrees, 100 degrees, 97, something like that. Okay. So I just need to make sure. Yeah, because on the moon, right, if I was to face 90, 90, it comes up right there, goes straight up overhead, and sets at 270, which would be west on Earth's compass. The moon would set over there. Mars came up at 97. So, and as you can see, it shifted to the south a little bit already. So we'll have a horizontal angle to worry about as well. That's kind of one thing I miss about my old saves was it's been so long since I've been on the Mars. I don't remember how to how to track the sun. So I just gonna have to pay attention, right? Because I like to build my solar panels like on Moon. Moon, um, sun's east to west. So if I build going north or south, right, my solar array tower, I don't have to worry about the panels blocking each other's light. But here on Mars, that's a different story because you can see it came up on the horizon right there at 97, and it's already up 114 or so. Yeah, 114 degrees. So, with any survival game, yeah, I'm going to pause this and talk for a minute. Pardon me. With any survival game, and it's paused, good. With any survival game, there's couple general rule of thumb for survival, right? And if you don't know what they are, typically when you're out, by yourself or with the family or whatever, and you're having or even just traveling in general, even on, in public transportation, something catastrophic happens out in the middle of nowhere, the first thing you're going to want to do is look for shelter, right? So, um, luckily, the lander has those things that we can use to build a shelter. So, if we look at for the yellow crate, which is the construction supplies, and then if I'm careful, let's see, helmet, I like to put up here. Oop, don't take that off. There we go. Yay suit. Backpack, I'll keep up here. This is all the starting equipment that you get here. And then a tool belt, right? Okay, so one thing about these two belts, this is a mining belt, and this is a tool belt. And if you swap the two locations, okay, when we go mining, with your drill or your pickaxe. The ores will automatically go into the bag if it's here. If your mining belt by default is up here, they won't go into the bag. They'll just be pieces of ore or ice rolling around on the ground. So first thing you'll want to do is swap these two belts and then the tool belt, which I like to keep over here. So if we're careful, I can actually put this down, open up some space, and I'm placing it with T as in Tango, and any spare batteries we get, we can just throw in there. But if we're careful and we pull this off and it doesn't land on our face, this has all the building supplies that we'll need. It comes with a arc furnace, our auto lathe, and be careful with this thing, man, because until you're able to build another one, that's the only one you get. And if you don't have that, you might as well stop. you know, they give us some frames, walls, some iron sheets and plastic sheets and glass. So, where do we want to put? Kind of a slope here, isn't it? Hmm. and the sun was over there. Well, nice thing about this game is we can eventually have enough supplies and mine enough stuff to, this starting spot could be a beginner base, and then you can always find a more suitable spot, and build you a better one. I think for right now, I just should get something up because it's gonna get dark here soon. Man, where do I want to go? I kind of like this spot here, man. I like the view. And normally I do a 3x3 with an airlock, but I might go bigger. Let's do, if we have enough supplies. If not, we'll shrink it down. Oop. I knew that was going to happen. Goodbye. Yeah, got dark. So we're going to start losing power. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try and do 5x5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn it. I may have to dig that out. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. One more row. Let's see if we got enough to do a airlock here. I think so. I know we've got more frames. So the mining drill If you hit R, as you can see right here, whoop, I can't see that. Anyway, R down there. You can change, there's a mode, right? Right now we're in default mode, which will dig for us, but you can set it to flatten and then pick the level at which where you want your ground to be. Stand there, turn your drill on, and that's your new ground level. So I'm just gonna flatten this out a little bit. Because eventually we're going to get to where we're going to be able to, lay cable, pipe, and I tend to try to keep most of that stuff um, hidden, whether it's in a wall or in the floor here or um, on the ceiling, between floors. And let me know how the game volume is because I've got my TV turned down. So it's not back feeding through the mic here. I believe when you're flattening, you do get the ores back. Yes, see how it went into my bag? And like I explained earlier, if we hadn't moved that mining bag, they'd be rolling around on the ground. And you have to maintain this level if you're going to go flat all the way across. So that's what I'm trying to do. That way I got room for pipe and cables. I'm sorry, this is a bit tedious work. I probably should have flattened out a spot first and then laid the frames down. What we can do, get that flat and walk around. That'll make it go quicker. Instead of going frame by frame. And eventually, once we get that auto laid up, we'll be able to, build stairs to get up in there. Alright, so that's done. Let's put that back away. Oop, turn it off first, though. We don't have power established yet. Then I want some Actually, did I get all my frames up? 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3. What happened here? Is that missing? Yep. Good thing I checked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We went 6. Oops. Oh, we don't have enough. I can always build a wall right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can build a wall right here if I have to. Then let's put the airlock. Where'd my lander go? Right there. Let's put it out here. Here. Okay, that's done. And then you just build your wall. Some people do. I don't think you have enough frames. Yeah, I've seen some people do frames all the way around, but I think they start with a smaller base. So, actually, let's get the floor welded. You start out with a welding torch, right? So it's got a fuel canister. In order for your base to be sealed to protect you from the elements, right? That's the first stage. That's the second. So now that will be airtight. Yeah, I'll do this. Ran up iron sheets. I'm sitting there trying to weld and it wasn't working. Oh man, I hope we have enough. Because that's all we're going to get till we get the auto lathe up. Same thing with the walls. So they'll come in two stages. You gotta. I don't think they take as many sheets though. And that one row, actually, that was the airlock right there. So this is the sixth row. So now I need that. Damn. Maybe I'll put the airlock somewhere else. Actually, we can. If we have to, we can take this apart with the wrench and get those sheets as needed. So we'll actually leave these here for now. Not that. I need that. That away. Okay, grab some walls. 12 more right there. Oh, those are frames. So these are the only walls we get, huh? Ugh, that's not going to be enough. May have to shrink it down. So what we'll do is we'll prioritize the airlock. Flip it around. Put one on top. And then... I don't think it matters. It doesn't matter till I get steel anyway. That wall. That wall. That wall. Okay. 24. Yeah, shoot. I'm not going to have enough. I swear we had more. We do. There's 30 more right there. Okay. I think we're good. We'll try it. We'll try it. I mean, as you can see in the tooltip, it gives you, hints on how to rotate and how to build. And I'm actually going to do 5 for now. We print more material, we can expand. Sun comes up over there, doesn't it? You know what we're going to do? Let us... The angle grinder out. Let's put a window here. And... Well, I buggered that, didn't I? 2, 3, 4. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I see what we did. Okay. No worries. Fixable. I don't need my light anymore. I'm just wasting power. Okay. What the hell's going on here? Five by 4. Don't mind me. Try this again. That looks better. Right, we can use that for... Sun's over there? Yeah, I can put like solar panels or something right there. I think we start out with one, so... Oop, I didn't want that there. I'll get that. Okay, hopefully we have enough for this. I believe we do, though. I believe we do. Because the interior should only be 25. I am stuck. There we go. So, like I mentioned before at the beginning, general rule of thumb for survival. I did it again. No, I didn't. Is get some shelter. That's rule number one. Protect yourself from the elements. That's kind of what we're doing. Because here in about 7 or 8 days, the Martian dust storm's gonna start, and I do want a window. Probably right here. Yeah. And I got 10 extra ones. Nice. That looks good. All right. I am going to need these at some point. What's this? Iron frame. Click and drag that onto that. So if you've never played this before, to bring up your cursor, by default, you just hold down the Alt key and you got your mouse cursor back, if you can see that. If OBS is capturing that for you. Gonna need glass for the windows. You know what? Yeah, one thing at a time. I get sidetracked so easily, especially in this game. Okay. So, put this away. Pick up the sheets and the glass. We'll do the windows first, get those out of the way. So it should be iron first. Yeah. Switch to glass. There's that. Iron first, switch to glass. Iron first, switch to glass. Okay. Iron first. Iron first. What the heck? Oh, I ain't worried about it. That is gonna drive me nuts, though. Huh. Okay, put that away. Weld these up. And if you look on the tooltip there, it requires one sheet. Oh, you don't even need the welder? Oh, nice. That works. Save on gas. It is going to be dark. Like I said, though, I like to control the light for my plants because they have different requirements for lightness or light and dark. So I like to control that myself. But we'll get some light in here after we build the other manufacturers. And we're out of sheets. Oh no. Really? I hope there's more. I don't think there is, though. Hmm. That's all food. Huh, bummer, dude. I thought they supplied more sheets than that. No. Okay. Looks like we're gonna have. What do we got left here? Might have to shrink her down, like I said. Or borrow from... I don't know if I have enough to even do that. We need 2, 4, 6... Hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man. Um, we could rob from this for now. No, I believe it's a wrench. We leave it like that, we can still place stuff on there. Once you take it down to just to demonstrate, you take it down to that, you can't put anything on it except maybe floor grading. So I don't have enough. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, damn. Well, I need to prioritize this airlock though. At least I'll have this space for breathing. Um, Bummer, man. What do we got left? Let's fill that in. We need 6 sheets. Shoot. More than that. We need 8. Yeah, we may have to shrink down a little bit. I thought they supplied more than that. Did I drop some on the ground somewhere else? Already checked there. Okay, well, damn. Now we know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's okay. That's okay. We will do without for now. We'll wait for the sun to come up. What I do want to do is... No. Yeah, electrical supply. Is that in here? There's the generator. Okay. Portable generator. Huh, there she is. Okay. So, as we remember, the sun came up at 97 degrees. Just that way. Yeah. And we can... let's borrow from this one. Actually, I could put it here. Yeah. I actually want to put this corner piece back. It's closer to the airlock. I was right the first time. There. Because what we can do is put the generator, like, on this corner somewhere. But what I want to do is a solar panel. I think for right now, yeah, I'm going to build it flat. And if you look, there's the power outlet. You can build the angled one, so like I could face it to the east, but then I'd only get the benefit from the morning sun. I wonder if I faced it south. What the heck? Wonder if I'd get more power out of that. We'll try it. If not, we'll build the flat. There, solar panel done there. So now that'll generate power whenever solar light hits it, sunlight hits it. And then we're gonna build, cable it up. Am I taking damage? Why? Hygiene. Oh, I'm out of thirst. Oh, bummer. Okay, well, let's take care of that real quick. I am gonna take some damage here. I have to lift my helmet in this poisonous Martian atmosphere because I don't have my airlock built yet. But we'll get it ready. And unlock. And real quick. See all those red icons? It's temperature, pressure, oxygen. There. Okay. I will have to do it again with food, but let's try and get some shelter. Shelter, priority number one. We'll cable it up. And I'm going to run along the outside here because, whoop, I can put my power generator, solid fuel generator there and run them together. And then my airlock's over here anyway. I guess I could have put that solar panel over here instead of in front of the damn window. I had it right the first time. There. We're going to do that. I'm going to move that panel so I can actually cut this away, this away, this away, this away, and this away. And I think I need a drill. No, crowbar, then drill. Okay. Just replace it. We'll try the angles. If it doesn't work out, we'll figure something else out. Yeah, the auto rotate seems to work better if you've got something there. There. Hopefully that works. Actually, I don't need this anymore. I can actually get rid of that. Keep that. Get rid of that. Definitely keep that. That there. That there. Okay. Let's get... I'm actually going to use this box. Hey, there's the sun. So we need it over here. I wonder... It's not completely up yet. Okay. I gotta get power going quickly. I do have an extra battery. We can actually just change that out for right now, so she'll stop complaining. To an APU. Power's coming from that direction, so I will put it here or here. Probably there. Oh, you get two? What? Nice. I dig it. And then, oh yeah, we'll need this. So sun just peeked out. Are we getting anything from this? No. It probably won't until it gets over there. Hmm. Hmm. Let's experiment with that. I'm gonna close this for now because I gotta reach that cable right there. We're getting something though. See that? So that's a plus. That'll help. Oh, it's driving me nuts. I have an order of things, and these I don't. That don't matter. This does to me. Okay. So now that we're drawing power from the solar panel, did I just open my damn helmet? See, this is why you lock it. See, there we go. We can hook up to our area power controller, which is, it distributes, I think I can go around and then down. No, we'll go down. Did that work? Provides power connection. Did I place that wrong? Because if it's hooked up right, that should be blue. I may have hooked that up wrong. Or built it wrong. Unless you have to turn it on. Oh, there it goes. Okay, come on. We got it. I did it right. Okay, so now that's got power. So the solar panel's now charging the battery. How's that doing? Yeah, not great. But eventually we'll be able to build the solar panels that can track the sun. We're not there yet. That ain't bad. 300 watts. Yeah, it's a start, you know? It's a start. So that's done, and then is that still in here? Yeah, the auto lathe is right there. That stuff's going, well, this can go outside. Let's get the, was it here? Solid fuel generator. We can plop that down right here. Where's the input? Right there. Ugh. Right next to my window. Poor planning. Poor planning. Or I could rotate it and save on cable. Data powers out that way. Where's the damn coal chute? Oh, there it is. It's on the back side. Right there. I don't want it there, though. I guess it's going there. So in a pinch, we can just throw some coal into that and then supply ourselves with power at night or to supplement the lack of sun. I wonder if we start out with a windmill at all, or if that's something we got a wind turbine. My apologies. Uh, or if we have to wait till we get it built. What do I need here? Just a straight. Okay. Yeah. So now, yeah, now we have emergency backup, and it takes coal or charcoal, but charcoal doesn't provide near as much as coal does. Okay, turn my jetpack off. We got that set up. Plenty of cable. We can put a battery charger down. I'd rather put it inside on the power side so we can slap this bad boy. Whoa. We can put that right here. Okay, and then this stuff away, put that away. Grab that battery that we used. Yeah, if we were getting solar power right now, it would be charging, but the sun just set, so we could mine some copper and go get that later. All right. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Auto lathe. Hum 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 hum. I don't. So typically, I'm gonna pause this. Typically, what we want to do is the airlock, right? You kind of want it on its own power source, okay? Because you're going to want to be able to always get into your base. You know, if you're running the airlock off the base power instead of its own power source, right? What happens if your batteries die, right? Can't get inside. Got to be inside to eat and drink. Once we establish a atmosphere inside there, so um, try to isolate your airlock so you can always get in. Uh, so what I'm gonna do is probably put another APU in. That second one for right now. Right? And then we can... Gosh, I should put it on the inside. That way I have access to it. Then we can run everything else off of it. I guess I just really just put it anywhere. Oh, crap. I'm gonna have to be careful with this corner, though. Okay, and it's gonna need a battery. Do I have an extra one? I do, it's charging. Can slap that in there. We do, we do. Here, let me throw that on the ground. I don't. I can leave it open because I gotta wire it up from out here. Luckily, all I need is just a couple of cables. So if you look at a device, you're not sure. If you look at the port, that's the input. So we need power coming in to there, and then this is the output side. So what I can do. Problem is the wall's on the other side, so I'm not going to be able to see it. And you have to have a tool in order to see how they'll connect there, because I've got the cutters in my hand. I do it red. And nice thing is the tooltip tells you what it requires wire cutters to merge. So now we're getting power in to there. Oh, I can't go down because you don't want to. I don't want to tie into this. Oh, that's sloppy. Yeah. I honestly try to be neat with my power, so... Yeah, I hate to do this. Sorry, guys. Don't yell at me. I'm gonna stub it through the wall. Yeah, that's gonna drive me crazy. Right, so we can do something like this. And you don't want to cross. Yeah, you don't want to make a loop. I'll have to use the framing. But anyway, what I wanted to do was set up the auto lathe so that we can go out and mine some ore. And then not have to worry about not having enough sheets here. Oh my gosh, that thing is huge. I want to be able to reach the input though. Wait a minute, isn't my furnace right there? Yeah, eventually I'm going to run a chute through the wall for that. solar panels there. Nothing saying we can't put this here, though. Does that look okay? Yeah. All right. So we'll just put some cable down this way. And then, if you need to know how to finish it, you can point at, yeah, any tool, any manufacturer, really anything with a tool, and it'll tell you what the next step is on the top portion of the box. So we need a welding torch and 2 iron sheets. Okay. Guess what we don't have? Yeah. Well, now we know, you know. Now we know. So we'll just rob from the ceiling. But we'll be able to make some here pretty quick. Or cable coil. Welding torch and 2 plastic sheets. Yeah, stairs are going to be the first thing I get. Besides iron sheets. And a screwdriver. Perfect. Now, when the sun comes up and this starts to charge, we'll be able to feed some. Oh, that's the next thing we need to do is set up the furnace. We could put that out on the back deck too. Where was that? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I've been up for over 12 hours already. Ugh, tired. All right. So the furnace will smelt your ores, and I'm gonna. I don't want to do this. Because eventually I want to bring a chute in and through the wall, you know? Guess we could do it that way for now. Yeah, and then I'll just rotate it later. And then if you're not sure, see, that's the data side of it, and this is the power side of it. So we can. Do I want this on a battery? Yeah, because I want to be able to smelt anytime. Ah. So we'll just stub this through the wall and run it. Run along the floor in there. Actually, I'll bring it out here first. There. Grab some extra cable coil. We'll tie in with the APU on the inside. So that duct tape, for those that you have played it, duct tape, if you damage your suit for whatever reason, yes, duct tape will fix it. Pretty handy, that stuff. Okay, then we'll come out this way. Looks like the sun's coming up. I got a little bit of time yet. I'll finish this and we'll go get some coal. There. So, shelter started. What is she complaining about now? Food? Okay, so, gonna take some damage again. Um, 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 we will. Yeah, I gotta do it. We're fixing to get that resolved, though. So to make it as quick as possible, I'm gonna switch to that. I'm gonna go, I am gonna eat. Let that recoup a little bit. A lot of food. Oops, forgot to switch hands. I drink. There. That'll hold us for a little bit. So the plan is, let me pause this real quick. The plan is get your shelter up, get it sealed in, right? And then we've got power already kind of generating. We'll get some more because that auto lathe will be able to make some more of those panels for us, yeah. And then we can go out, and you really want to mine during the day so that you can see. As you can tell, it's a pita in the dark. So we're gonna go get iron because iron will make the sheets. And then we'll probably get some copper to make more cable and gold. I think gold's going to be used for some of the components that we're going to have to make here shortly. But we'll mine during the day, and then you can like craft and build and all kinds of stuff at night. Um, if we wanted to, I'm not going to do it just yet. Uh, you can. You saw me in my moon base. How I adjusted the time scale to give myself longer days. That's great. The plants though are not affected by it, right? So plants typically require anywhere from I think it's like 5 to 8 minutes of daylight and then anywhere from like 3 to 5 minutes of darkness or something like that. So it doesn't affect the plants even though you're running, what is it I change it to? I think it's like 30 minutes of daylight and then 30 minutes of darkness. So plants aren't affected. But you can change that. Pardon me. You can change that so that you've got longer days and you can go out and mine a little bit longer or build a little bit longer. Completely up to you. Or leave it alone and just wait the 10 minutes. We'll just wait the 10 minutes for right now. We get to a point where, man, I wish we had longer daylight. Well, that's something we can. It's possible you can do it. And if you don't know how, you bring up F3 to open the console. And then I think if you just type help, it gives you all the commands that you can use, right? So there's every command that you can run in the game. And then to change the daylight time, you're really changing the time scale of the orbit. So it's orbit time scale. And then whatever number you put in, I believe you can go from 0 to 1. But one way to look at what your default is just type in orbit debug. And then if we close the console, right, see how your standard time scale on Mars, right, is 0.00044445. Okay. So if you change that, you'll have to. Pardon me, I am so sorry. Um, we'll have to do some math to figure it out because right now I think it's still 10 minutes, but the orbit time scale is different. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure that out off camera. F3, but and then orbit debug again to hide all that. Close the console. Okay. So we'll do a little bit of mining. And see if we can't find some there's iron. Now, okay, yeah, iron's great. It's right here, but think if you're gonna put a set of stairs down here, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna fall into that hole. So I try to dig away from base. So like over here probably wouldn't be bad, or even like this is our view, so I could actually go down this hole into this canyon and do some mining. Iron, gold, copper, and coal for sure. Ah, and I didn't change it back to default. I'm weird. I'm right-handed. So I want it to be in my right hand. And this is the basic mining drill, so we'll be able to make a better one later on. In fact, I think in one of the boxes there's a pneumatic mining drill. And the way that works is still gold there. We'll come back. Um, the more pressure it has, the faster it works, right? You can see that this is kind of slow. I always just use this one until I can make the heavy mining drill later on. And this is a new feature too. This see how it's kind of gold colored or yellow colored right there. That's new. That didn't used to be there. It's just letting you know that there's still ore in the area, and that will go away as you mine it all up. Probably got enough gold. I need to get some other stuff. We need coal for power tonight. So my building is to the east. We also need iron. I think I see coal here. Is that coal? No, more gold. There's coal. And I think you have to get so. There we go. I think you have to get so far down past a certain layer before you start seeing that discolor, that other color. There, see it? Yeah, the purple showed up for coal. We can use this to run power at night or when your battery dies. Mining's kind of the boring part, but that's all right. It's got to be done. And if you guys prefer, I can do this stuff off camera, but there's gonna be times where I have to get this stuff. And I may do that. I may go mine a bunch of, oh gosh, it's almost time to go. I may actually just do some mining tonight, and then, we'll get with y'all back tomorrow. Same time. We'll start at, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Pacific. Is that right? I started at 4 my time. That's 8 Eastern. Yeah. That's probably enough coal. Yeah. I need iron and copper, man. But yeah, 4 o'clock Alaska Standard Time if you happen to be in the beautiful state of Alaska. 8 Eastern. Same time tomorrow. Um, hope to see you there. When I'm done, I gotta do some editing, you know. The work isn't finished, even though the stream is. There we go. Look at that. And you don't have to keep your ores in your bag. Eventually, we'll be able. Yeah, see how that fell on the ground, like I was explaining earlier. But what we can do is we can move these 2 full stacks here. You can't do that with ice. Ice over a certain temperature will melt. So, okay, that's probably enough iron. We need copper next. Yeah, ice will melt if it's up in here, but it's protected within your mining bag. So, copper, copper, copper. Appreciate you guys hanging out if you're in chat. Or if you're watching this later. Yeah, see, this is why we mine during the day. I'll do some mining off camera and get some copper for us, just so we have it. I don't want to get lost out here in the dark though. And then we'll continue where we left off. Hope you guys have a safe Friday. Thanks for tuning in. And we will catch you on the next one. Take it easy.